What's up YouTube? Today I want to look at UVI PX Memories. So it's a standalone sound pack for UVI products. So that means it works in both Falcon and their kind of free workstation or free kind of player software. So you don't necessarily need UVI Falcon to use this expansion. Basically what it is, it's a multi-sample recreation of the legendary Lintronics LAMM modification. LAMM, basically LAMM, stands for Lintronics Advanced Memorymoog modification. It was a modification done to the legendary Memorymoog synthesizer that advanced a couple of MIDI and hardware parameters within the unit. So yeah, I don't know too much about the actual hardware unit itself, but I have played around with a little bit of the sounds and I've actually made a bit of a project here, something slightly different to what I usually work on, and I want to show you guys what sounds are in the pack and a couple of the cool things about the way that they've kind of designed the interface. So firstly, I want to say a big thanks to UVI for sending me PX Memories for the purpose of this video. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive in and have a look. So like I said, I put together a project here using a multitude of the sounds that I found in the pack. I want to go through the project, show you what's like how I kind of set it up, and then maybe look through some of the other sounds to find more suitable stuff for the project. So I did use a random synthwave track that I found on YouTube as a reference for this project. I did kind of change the melody and the key and quite a bit of stuff, but you know, the kind of overall arrangement and that kind of thing is very based on another track. Just so you guys know, it's not 100% original. I don't really know all that much about the synthwave genre, so I figured using a reference is probably the easiest way to get something that sounds good. And a lot of the sounds in this PX Memories pack is kind of very retro, a lot of kind of hardware unison stuff that sounds really good in the kind of synthwave context. So yeah, I thought now would be a great opportunity to do something like that. Anyway, this is the track I've got so far. Cool, so I just rendered out these layers that I had so far, and I want to show you a couple of things, like how I kind of put together the structure of this Falcon multi. You can see there's only kind of 4 channels here, but there's a lot more than 4 layers. One of the cool things about Falcon and the kind of way it works, I think this is similar with the UVI Workstation, is you can kind of layer up these sounds and choose what MIDI channels are sending to what sounds. So how I've set it up is like these first 1, 2, 3, 4 layers are being controlled by the same MIDI pattern, and that's kind of creating our sort of like pad sound. So let me just solo this over here and show you what we're dealing with here. So this is cool. Like I said, we can create these huge layers of pads and string sounds by combining a multitude of presets. I want to show you like how I kind of broke it up between these 4 presets. So you see the first two, the one is a very kind of deep, low texture, and the other one is a very high frequency, noisy texture. So combined, they really fill up the frequency spectrum very nicely. And then the other two were kind of just to fill in the mid space, you know, some more harmonics in the mid range. Yeah, so like I said, I combined those to create like a single pad layer, combining all those 4 presets. I think that's a pretty powerful thing that you can do with Falcon. The rest of the sounds were just kind of single layers. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use like what I've got here. I'm actually just going to extract some of these MIDIs onto a blank MIDI channel, and then just delete some of these tracks and go through some of the sounds which we can layer on top and see what other sounds are in the pack. So here what I'm going to do, let's actually just go ahead and we can remove all of the parts except for one of them, and we can just cycle through these, see what sort of sounds they have. I think there's some processing on here which I can remove just so we're getting the clean sound. We can go and add some synth effects and some sound effects and stuff later on if we feel that the sounds need that. But let's just go through some of these and see what's on offer here. So with this particular track, the bass line is actually done in Vital. Because I had a particular bass sound in mind, I think it's a bit easier to kind of like craft it from scratch than to go through a bunch of presets, or at least, you know, in my workflow, it takes a bit quicker. But that being said, is we might be able to find some usable bass sounds here which we could replace or, you know, somehow use in the track. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the basses MIDI on this track, and we can actually cycle through some of these bass sounds to see what we're dealing with here. So actually this part is pretty cool because I think like a lot of the sounds like cut away and it's just bass, percussion, and one of the kind of paddy synth sounds there. It's a bit high in frequency. Oh, that's a really nice sequence. It's like an acid lead. That could even work in Psytrance. But it also works nice as a single hit bass line. That's nice. That sounds good. Okay, so let me remember that. We can always come back to that. Okay, I like that, but for now I'm going to render it, and then we can always compare how it compares to the original. But I want to move on and check out some of the other synth sounds and stuff, and see what else we can add here. and we're getting very psytrancey here. I mean, obviously it's not, it's still what it is, but the sounds, I mean, it's still pretty capable of, you know, morphing it into wherever you kind of need it to go. This filter sounds really, really good with the resonance cranked. And Yeah, it's not often you find a digital filter that actually sounds so sweet with the resonance cranked, and it's like on almost all of the patches, it is like that. So yeah, interesting. So yeah, as you probably saw, you don't only have this sort of main screen to edit these parameters and stuff. You've got the effects, you've got an arpeggiator screen as well, which is pretty dang advanced. And the other cool thing is you've actually got a modulation step sequencer kind of thing over here, which you can do various things with. So let's try assign this step modulator to the filter. So the assign section this is basically for the LFOs, it seems, and this is for the modulator. So you've got two layers, A and B, in the synth over here. Oscillators, program 1, program 2, two layers. And this modulation applies to each of those layers. And then the depth would be the filter amount of that modulation. Interesting. Very nice sound on that filter, and very nice sound on the effects as well. That could be a nice sound for like the intro or something like that, or the breakdowns. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up for what I wanted to kind of show you guys. There is still a ton more sounds in the pack. I think there's 350 or more presets in the pack. As you can see, they're nicely categorized into all sorts of different categories over here. You've got like sequences, which they call animated stuff. You've got bass, bells, brass, effects, literally anything you could ever design. As you heard, it's very capable of the kind of more psychedelic sounds as well as the kind of more retro synthwavy type of stuff. Awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to be posting a link to UVI's website where you can check out this pack in further details. Again, thanks to UVI for sending me this pack for the purpose of this video. And yeah, if you like this video, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. See you guys next time. Cheers.